So we're here to do the DOTD calibration instructional video. So hopefully if you've ordered from RS Aqua, you've received your kit. So this should include your instructions, a magnetic stirrer with the power lead, 4 calibration containers with marks for 250 ml 0% solution and 100% solution. And then your sodium sulphite anhydrous and 2 scoops. There will also be a USB stick which will contain all of the documentation as well. Before you carry out any calibration, please ensure that your sensors have been thoroughly cleaned using the guidance on the user manual. To do the full calibration, we need to put the sensors in a 0% O2 environment and a 100% O2 environment. So to do this, we'll need to use the sodium sulphite to make a 0% oxygen solution. This is where we'll need the magnetic stirrer. So using one of the calibration containers, we can top that up to the 250 ml mark. We put the stirring mechanism in the bottom of the container. So if we then just grab the sodium sulphite and a scoop. So we just need 1 large scoop. That should be sufficient. We turn this on and we stir this. We'll make sure that solution's well mixed, so we'll keep that stirring for 15 minutes. Connecting the app to the sensors, if we click on the AquaMeasure app and scan for sensors, we should be able to see what sensors we've got and whether they need firmware upgrades or calibration. If it does need a firmware upgrade or a new config, we'll have to do that before the calibration. If we want to do multiple calibrations at one time, we can just click and hold all of the sensors, and then at the bottom we've got a batch calibration or a batch update option. We're just going to do one today, so we'll clear that. So as you can see, we've got one that's required for calibration. So we connect to that sensor. And basically, we just click on it. It tells us full calibration and single point calibration are both required. So we just need to click on calibrate and it will take us through the steps. The first step is to ensure that we have the 0% oxygen solution made up. Once the solution has been mixed for 15 minutes, we can turn down that power, and then we just want to transfer the liquid from this container into one of the other containers, filling to the 0% level. Put a lid on that. These 0% solutions can be used for calibration up to 24 hours after they've been mixed. Now we want to immerse the sensor into that solution. So if we make sure the weight collar's loose and can slide down, we want to put this in at the level it should just be covering the DO patch, and the weight collar should just stabilise that. Once we have that set up, we can go back to the app and just click through the steps. So begin. Okay, and then we just need to start the timer. This will just settle the sensor for 30 minutes before we do the calibration. So once that's completed the 0% calibration, it will prompt us to do the 100% calibration. As the instructions say, we need to rinse off the sensor, so we can just do that in tap water. Thoroughly rinse it. And dry that off. And the instructions say to do that 3 times before carrying on with the 100%. So in order for us to complete the 100% saturation test, we'll get another of the calibration containers and this time fill it up with tap water to the 100% line. This should mean that when we put the sensor in, it's just a ceramic head that sits in the water, and the weight collar should sit nicely at the top of the beaker. Once we've set that up, we can start the timer for the next test. So once we've got the timers come down to 0 on the 100% calibration, we're ready to continue. It will work its way through the calibration. And at this point it will prompt us to put in the temperature and the pressure. If you have a local weather station, you can put your custom pressure in. And then create a configuration. And that successfully completed the calibration of this unit. And it should immediately go green. Now we're connected. So thanks very much for watching the DOTD calibration video. If you have any further questions, please do get in touch with us via the website or email.